Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited, MiG-23 accident curtails major U.S. airshow. U.S. Coast Guard air assets and Navy rescue 4 divers off Cape Fear. Delta Airlines spearheads $500 million Wheels Up bailout. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Alternator. Let's get into today's stories. MiG-23 accident curtails major U.S. airshow. For more than 20 years, crowds have thrilled to thunder over Michigan, a gala event counted among the U.S.'s premier airshows. Regrettably, the event's 25th anniversary was marred by the loss of a Soviet-Era MiG-23. The Sunday mishap saw the MiG-23's 2 occupants eject from the aircraft as it traversed the airspace over Ypsilanti, Michigan's Willow Run Airport. The unpiloted jet came almost immediately to ground, impacting a number of unoccupied vehicles in the parking lot of Van Buren Township's Waverly-on-the-Lake apartments. No ground injuries were reported, and the aircraft's 2 pilots were rescued from Belleville Lake. The MiG-23's pilot and the individual occupying the aircraft's aft station, known in official military parlance as a combat systems officer and colloquially as a backseater, both ejected successfully from the aircraft and landed safely, albeit soggily, under canopy. Michigan's Wayne County Airport Authority set forth, quote, "While it did not appear that they sustained any significant injuries, first responders transported the pair to a nearby hospital as a precaution," end quote. Coming up after the break, EASA grants Hartzell engine tech Alternator upgrades STC approval.
Well, hello, fellow pilot. I'm John King.
And I'm Martha King.
You know, we've all had our flying lives disrupted lately.
Well, King Schools is here to help you stay up to date with courses that you can access on your desktop, iPad, or iPhone. If you'd like a refresher or just want to expand your aviation horizons, we have a course for you.
So head over to kingschools.com/Rusty today for details.
Throughout the globe, Piper Aircraft has hand-selected the very best in company representation, service, and support. From first inquiry to acquisition to product support, Piper Aircraft ownership is seamless and worry-free. Piper Aircraft authorized dealers, factory trained, factory connected.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. EASA grants Hartzell engine tech Alternator upgrades STC approval. EASA has granted Hartzell Engine Tech, the Alabama-based power plant firewall forward subsidiary of Hartzell Aviation, STC approval for plane power ALT-FLX alternator upgrades across a wide range of piston-powered fixed and rotary wing aircraft. The upgrades were previously approved in the U.S. by the FAA. Hartzell Engine Tech President Keith Bagley stated, quote, "The plane power ALT-FLX alternators are now STC approved by EASA for a variety of aircraft and provide up to 100 amps in a 12-volt electrical system and up to 150 amps in a 24-volt system," end quote. North Carolina Super Petrel accident claims 2 lives. The pilot and passenger of a Skoda Aeronautica Super Petrel LS, registration November 239 Whiskey Delta, lost their lives when the aircraft struck high-tension power lines while reportedly practicing water landings on North Carolina's Lake Hickory. The mishap occurred at approximately 11:30 EDT on Sunday, August 13th, and claimed the lives of pilot Jeffrey J. Cooley, age 63, of Granite Falls, North Carolina, and passenger Brian Frank Miller, aged 49, of Hickory, North Carolina. West Virginia College to expand aviation program. West Virginia State Legislature has approved a $25 million budget allocation for the construction of an aviation maintenance training facility at the Mountain State's North Central West Virginia Airport. The proposed 70,000 square foot structure will facilitate increased enrollment in nearby Pierpont Community and Technical College's aviation tech program. The college aspires to see the aforementioned program grow from its current roster of 130 students to upwards of 200 enrollees. Vertical Aerospace VX4 eVTOL suffers flight testing mishap. Vertical Aerospace announced that its VX4 eVTOL prototype had suffered a mishap during a test flight. The company set forth in its SEC filing, quote, Our flight test program is designed to establish the limits of the aircraft's performance, and the incident occurred during an uncrewed test of the aircraft's maneuverability during a motor failure test scenario, which is a key requirement to progress to crewed operations, end quote. Vertical Aerospace asserted it has made great strides in its flight test program this quarter, including the conduct of the VX-4's first untethered flights. Well, that's it for today's Tripper on the Patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. U.S. Coast Guard air assets and Navy rescue 4 divers off Cape Fear. This week, the U.S. Coast Guard and Navy rescued 4 divers: Ben Wiggins, age 64, Luke Lodge, age 26, Daniel Williams, age 46, and Evan Williams, age 16, who had gone missing some 40 nautical miles southeast of North Carolina's Cape Fear. Earlier, watchstanders at Coast Guard Sector North Carolina received notification from Coast Guard Sector Charleston that 4 men diving from a pleasure craft dubbed Big Bills, approximately 55 nautical miles east of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, had not resurfaced. A Coast Guard Air Station Elizabeth City HC-130 Hercules crew notified Coast Guard Sector North Carolina watchstanders at 045 EDT on the morning of August 14th that they'd spotted an SOS-strobe light, located the 4 missing divers, and launched a life raft. The HC-130 coordinated a rescue effort with the U.S. Navy destroyer USS Porter, then conducting a training exercise near the divers' location. The Porter arrived on scene and crew members safely retrieved all 4 divers from the life raft. A Coast Guard Station Oak Island motor lifeboat rendezvoused with the Porter and transferred the exhausted divers aboard. And after these messages, Delta Airlines spearheads $500 million Wheels Up bailout.
I'm currently using the Hartzell Talon, by far the best aerobatic propeller ever come out.
I use the Trailblazer. It adds performance to the Super Decathlon and dependability, and it's rugged.
Hartzell's been an excellent partner for Whip Air, just in terms of your product support as well as keeping an eye on the market and developing new products that meet demand.
It's helping us all have better performing airplanes.
It's such a proud honor to fly behind that propeller.
Skyleader Aircraft offers a lineup of the most powerful, durable, and efficient light sport aircraft in the industry. From trainers to roomy cockpits for long hauls, Skyleader has an aircraft for you. And the best part? They're in your budget. Skyleader's base prices are set low to give you room to customize your aircraft to your needs, desires, and wallet, allowing you to put your money where it matters to you most. Visit flyskyleader.com today to learn about our aircraft, customization options, and chat with the team.
Welcome back. Delta Airlines spearheads $500 million Wheels Up bailout. Recently, Wheels Up reported additional losses, declining revenues, and dwindling cash reserves. The disclosure occasioned renewed whisperings of bankruptcy's imminence and the dissolution of the world's 3rd largest private aviation concern. The morning of August 15th brought an announcement of a wholly different tenor from Delta Airlines, which set forth its intention to lead a major investment initiative by which Wheels Up, of which Delta presently holds a significant stake, may yet manage a worryingly overdue course correction. Wheels Up, which last week accepted a $15 million emergency cash infusion from Delta, will cede a 95% ownership interest in exchange for a $500 million bailout from Delta, Knighthead Capital Management, and other benefactors. The non-binding bailout agreement comprises a new $400 million term loan, $150 million of which will be provided by Delta, and a $100 million line of credit. The cash will sustain Wheels Up's operations as the company executes a new business plan described by interim CEO/CFO Todd Smith as, quote, focusing scheduled flights on the U.S. East and West Coast while running a charter model throughout the remainder of the nation, end quote. Delta could conceivably leverage for purpose of contemporaneously broadening profits across the business's Part 91, 121, and 135 operations. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching!